In a silent, forgotten village, where the earth had cracked from years of sun and the wind carried only dust and forgotten whispers, lived an old man named Elias. The people of the village had given up. They said nothing could grow there anymore. The soil was dead, the streams were dry, and hope had long since departed with the last rain. But every single morning, just as the first sliver of dawn painted the gray sky, Elias would walk to the barren edge of the land. In one hand, he carried a small, worn leather bag filled with seeds, and in the other, a rusty shovel that had seen better days. His steps were slow but steady, a quiet ritual against the backdrop of desolation. The villagers watched him from their doorways, shaking their heads. They saw an old man chasing a phantom. With a soft grunt, he would drive the shovel into the hard, unforgiving soil. He dug tiny, careful holes, one by one, day after day. His movements were methodical, almost like a prayer. And into each small hollow in the earth, he would drop a single precious seed. The children, not yet burdened by the cynicism of their elders, would sometimes follow him. They didn't understand. "You're wasting your time, old man," they would call out, their voices echoing in the stillness. "The rain doesn't come here anymore. It's forgotten us." Elias would pause, straightening his tired back, and turn to them. A gentle smile would light up his weathered face. His eyes, though old, held a quiet, unshakable strength. "The rain will come," he would say, his voice as soft as the memory of a breeze. "It will come when it sees hope waiting for it." He believed that nature, like people, needed something to believe in before it would offer its gifts. Months turned into seasons, and seasons bled into years. The sun continued to beat down, and the wind continued to howl its dusty song. Elias grew older. His shoulders stooped, and his back bent under the weight of time. His hands, once strong, became rough and cracked like the very earth he tended. Still, he planted. Every morning without fail, he walked to the edge of the village. One seed each morning. One quiet dream planted in the dust. He watered them with the little he had, a few drops from his own ration, a testament to his unwavering faith. For a long, long time, he saw very little change. The earth seemed to swallow his efforts whole. But then, a small miracle. Here and there, a tiny, vibrant green leaf would push its way through a crack in the soil. It was a fragile, almost impossible sight. To anyone else, it might have been nothing. But to Elias, those few specks of green were everything. They were a sign, a promise. They were enough to keep him going, to fuel the fire of his hope through the lonely days and cold nights. He wasn't just planting seeds. He was planting a future. Then, one spring morning, something was different. The air felt heavy, charged with an energy the village hadn't felt in a generation. The sky, usually a pale, empty blue, began to change. Dark, heavy clouds gathered on the horizon slowly at first, then all at once, as if answering a long-awaited call. And then it happened. A single drop of rain hit the dusty ground. Then another, and another. Softly at first, a gentle patter, then stronger, a steady, life-giving downpour. The villagers, stunned, ran out of their homes, their faces turned to the sky, letting the cool water wash away the years of dust and despair. It was a baptism for a land that had forgotten what it meant to be alive. And as the rain soaked the parched earth, a transformation began. Around the very places Elias had so patiently planted, a carpet of green began to spread. It was a quiet, beautiful revolution. Tiny shoots became saplings, and the earth, once barren, blushed with the color of life. When Elias finally passed away, peacefully in his sleep, the villagers didn't mourn in despair. They celebrated his life. They buried him beneath the cool shade of a young, thriving tree he had planted with his own tired, loving hands. It was the most fitting tribute to the man who had taught them how to see again. Years later, that single tree became the heart of a small, vibrant forest. Birds, whose songs had been absent for decades, returned to build their nests among the branches. Wildflowers, in a riot of color, pushed their way through the rich soil. The wind no longer carried dust. It carried the scent of pine and damp earth. And where once there had been only silence, there was now the sound of children laughing as they played. Where once there had been only dust. The villagers finally understood his words, the simple wisdom they had once dismissed. The rain will come, they would tell their own children, when it sees hope waiting for it. Elias taught them the most profound lesson of all. Sometimes, hope must be planted before the miracle can arrive. Sometimes one person's quiet courage, one heart full of patience, is all it takes to bring an entire world back to life. And even now, when the wind passes through the rustling leaves of the forest, it still seems to whisper his name, Elias, the man who planted hope. Thank you for joining me for this story. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that inspires. We'll see you next time.